Good morning, Technosphere. And it is morning-ish. And I'm going to look at the papers because I said I would. And that's my level of commitment. So here they are, look. The papers, I don't actually buy them. The main problem with looking at your newspaper online is that there isn't anything to wrap the broken glass in your house up with when on the occasion that it happens, which are not that frequent. But anyway, it's a problem. We have to get the free newspapers now because no one in my house buys magazines or newspapers. It's a problem. So let's see what the dominant culture is telling us today. You know, I'm not really one for taking much notice, but I think in these exceptional times, it's worth keeping an eye on the cunts. So, the Daily Express, our favourite paper, the Daily Depress is saying, virus pledge to test 100,000 a day. I swear they were going to test 25,000 a day about 3 weeks ago. I tell you, I swear I've had this thing. I think everyone in my house has had it. But because there's no testing, morning Mitsu, because there's no testing, we don't know, do we? And I've got a bit of a cold today. Just a normal cold, I think. And so the government are pledging again, and we know what that means, don't we? It's a bit of a worry. Death tolls jumped to nearly 3,000. That's fucked up. 100,000 tests a day, says the Times. I love the way they make it as a headline, like 100,000 virus tests a day. And what they mean is, we're going to get 100,000 virus tests a day. But if you just read the headline and you didn't know that the government were a bunch of lying bastards, you might think that England was virus testing 1,000 people a day. I would really like to know how many we actually are testing a day. Are we testing any? Because I'm not being offered a test. There's no signs around my place going, this is where you get the test. Ain't no test. And the Times seems to think it's very important that global cases of disease passed 1 million, leading football stars to take a pay cut. Now, there we go. That's what I think is important. You know, I really think it's important that we know what the footballers are doing right now. Because, man, where would we be without them? And there's a whole load of famous people holding up pictures of thank you NHS. Yes, thank the NHS. But don't forget about the fucking bin men and the corner shop people. And I thanked the man in Lidl yesterday because he ain't getting no round of applause, is he? No one's going to say, we were really impressed with all the people who put themselves on the front line, keeping the supermarkets open. I'm not hearing that. And I swear, right, they probably come into contact with more people and get sneezed all over. Anyway, moving swiftly on, the Daily Tripograph. It's got the fucking idiot. It's got the evil clown clapping his hands. I don't even know what to say about that. And ministers seek to end lockdown. How can they end the lockdown? They only just started the fucking lockdown. Police told to find parents of children who ignore the lockdown. Well, I'm sorry, but when I was a teenager, you would not have been able to lock me in my yard. I was the master of escaping, and I shouldn't imagine that teenagers these days are any different. And finding children because their parents are unruly is bang out of order. Bang out of order, because if they could keep the fucking little cunts in the house, don't you think they would? Sorry. I'm trying not to get vexed this morning. And then the Daily Fail. They're still talking about the promises that are being kept. Promise. We promise to give you 1,000 virus tests a day. Okay, well, shut the fuck up and give us the testing, innit? Because it would be quite nice to know whether you had the virus or not. And it might be quite useful for this country to ascertain how many of its citizens had contracted the virus, died of it, or got sick. There's no point in only testing the sick people. Bunch of fucking fools. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Bernie Ecclestone has got his wife pregnant. She ain't looking happy about it. No. Who would be happy to be pregnant at this time? I mean, God almighty, look at the world we're giving our children. Shame. Shame on us. Oh, Eddie Large died. I liked Little and Large. I think that's really sad. Little and Large were part of my childhood. They really were. And Eddie's heart wasn't strong enough to fight the virus. It's not a heart disease. It's a virus. He died of a poor heart while having the virus. But he doesn't count as a virus death. Because of the fuckeries. Because the fuckeries say that if you've got another condition that you die of that's worsened by the fact that you had the coronavirus, you didn't die of the coronavirus, you died of the thing that got made worse by the coronavirus, because that's going to keep the numbers down. Heroes face test wait. Oh, yes. All of a sudden, everyone in the NHS is a fucking hero all day, every day. Funny that. And The Guardian is saying number 10 admits mistakes over testing as it sets new target. It doesn't say anything about who's been tested, when they've been tested, how they got tested. No. Coronavirus cases pass 1 million worldwide. But England are not in the figures because we ain't counting. Panic buying, millions in the US rush to buy guns amid the pandemic. Right, that'll help, won't it? I mean, like, don't you love the Americans? Oh my God, there's a global pandemic. What should we do? Let's buy a gun. I guess if you shoot somebody with the virus, they're still going. The virus is probably going to live for a bit longer then. And, you know, while you're trying to dispose of the body, you might contract it. Stupid. Anyway, I can't be dealing with this stupidness. The Guardian says Downing Street is facing fresh questions over its coronavirus test plan. After emerging, the government was hoping to exit the lockdown through immunity passports and antibody tests that are still not proven to work. Oh, God, that's just exhausting. And The Sun says, bad to worse, UK's test site sitting empty, yet we send swabs to Germany. Oh, God. We have got a farce going on, and our government is the most embarrassing thing that I have experienced politically for some years. I've always been embarrassed about the government, and well, who wouldn't be? And so I'm just defaulting to poetry here because you can't be listening to those people. When you've been locked in your house by the government's stupidity, I think you can fucking ignore them. So I'm looking for poetry. Let's see. Oh, I read yesterday's poetry already. Fuck. What should I do? I know. I'll find an old one. From recently. Let's see if I've written any poetry recently. Yeah, I usually do. And because it's one of the few ways that I can reliably keep sane without punching people and that kind of thing. God, what I've been doing is live streaming. It appears that I'm live streaming my way through the apocalypse, which is an interesting method because it's not just me, is it? It's really the fact that... Oh, here we go. This is called sobering thoughts, because my alcohol consumption has gone up fairly significantly throughout this period. My entire consciousness is filled with pointless shite. I should have opened that bottle of wine, then I wouldn't have been up all motherfucking night. Trying not to look at the time. Now it's too early or late to start drinking. And I don't want to wake up pissed. Good grief. Whatever on this good earth was I thinking? Such an obvious thing to have missed. Tomorrow I'll make sure I open the bottle with dinner. Then take the last glass with me to bed and sleep like the baby. It's no brainer. In the morning I'll deal with the head, with a coffee and with a fat spliff. The government said just to keep on drinking. For a change, they're not wrong, but they've put us in this shit. I reckon it's their round now. Who's buying? That wasn't work. The rhyming didn't work at the end there, did it? And this is, I shall leave you on this note. It's gone, and I wrote it on Monday. Hello, anxiety, my good old friend, gifting me worries that I cannot mend. Hey there, insomnia, how have you been? Your short absence has been a bit of a dream. I noticed your absence. I knew you'd be back. I am similarly afeared, but it has changed its tack. I know I can cope in the lockdown that is, but I'm not so sure about my friends and my kids. Have a nice day now. I'm going to try and put on some lockdown loungery. That's my new word, loungery. Clothes to lounge around in. Not sexy clothes to lounge around in. Just clothes to lounge around in. Any clothes that you like. Loungery is your comfort, cosy clothing.